So here we are with this 05 LLY Duramax that will not start. And if it does try to start, it just coughs and coughs and then dies. There's a couple things going on here. Sometimes the dash has power, sometimes the truck has power, sometimes it does not. Sometimes you turn the key forward to just ignition and it starts cranking before you even put it into the start mode. There was a massive hole underneath this fuse block. We've got big corrosion here, we've got big corrosion here. This big fusible link is all corroded. It's really hard to tell what's going on inside here. And this is a fairly easy part to replace. There's a few screws here. You can unplug the entire harness. And we'll have our trailer accessory wire here. We'll have a wire that goes down into the harness. And a main power wire here that goes also into the harness. But for the most part, this is going to be a fairly straightforward swap. I can use this from a gasoline or diesel powered truck. I can also use it from a half-ton, a 3/4 ton, a Suburban. There were different fuse block variations or fuse locations based on what fuel type, but I do believe that this is going to be all the same under here. So I think I'm going to run to the junkyard and get one off of maybe a 6-liter, and I might take some detailed pictures of this, just pin out locations, stuff like that, and verify it's the same. But I think it would be a good idea to just replace this. Additionally, the previous owner thinks that there was maybe a bad fuel supply. This was on Beaver Island up north in Michigan. Apparently there's not a whole lot of diesels up there. It's hard to say, but it started running funky all at the same time that the electrical issue was going on, all at the same time that it was on the island and got a fresh tank of fuel. So I don't know the history. I also don't know how long it's been since the fuel filter's been changed. So I just want to, out of curiosity, see what is in the fuel. So I'm going to take the old filter, I'm going to dump it into this baking pan and see what's going on here. Notice jack stands, tire off, always use jack stands. Smells like diesel fuel. Let's check it out. Now, I don't know how normally fuel filters look, but I do see there's a ton of sediment and debris in that. Now, maybe that is why there's fuel filters. I don't know. Like I said, it smells like fuel. It smells like diesel. It doesn't smell bad. It doesn't smell like gas or there's any type of a mixture going on there. It's got that amber diesel look to it. But the amount of debris and sediment in there does concern me. If it managed to get through here and through the CP3 injection pump, it could have harmed the injectors or plugged them. He did say that he had it scanned and that all the injectors were bad. Now, generally speaking, all injectors don't just go bad. Something happens. So hopefully this is an electrical issue. If not, hopefully it's a fuel issue that can be remedied by cleaning. I don't know. I've had these injectors out before on this type of engine. It's not the most fun. You gotta do quite a bit of work to pull the valve covers, to pull the injectors, to keep everything clean. And I would much rather not have to do that job. But just popping the injector lines off, I might be able to see down into the back side of the injectors and see what's going on. We will start with the fuse block and a fresh filter and go from there. Now, generally speaking, I use Wix filters on these Duramax diesels. I think that Wix has a superior quality and a superior product, but for the sake of troubleshooting, I went with the cheapest filter I could find, and that's that. I removed this screw. I pumped and pumped and pumped until I bled a little bit of fuel out. I replaced the screw and pumped more until this primer was good and firm. So looking around, I found this 2005 half-ton, and it has all of the same fuses, if not more, in the same locations. So that tells me that it's going to have all the circuits I need to run. One thing I did notice, that on my stock one I have a big fusible link right here, and on this one the power wire that should be over here is just fed straight from this main battery wire. I do have another good fusible link off of my 2001 parts truck, so I might just incorporate that in this replacement anyway. Now, you never know truly why a truck gets to the junkyard, but I have a feeling that this one might have had some electrical issues. It's hard to say. I've got my fuse block and a genuine GM wheel for Norman for my other project, and it's time to go check out. Check that out. 65 bucks after all the fees and stuff for my fuse block I need and a wheel, so that's pretty cool. Okay, now that I have everything back together, I have a battery light. I have things that look like good lights. Looks like I got still low batteries. No crank. Well, no battery crank. No power from the batteries. Got the jump pack on. Let's see what happens now. Still not enough juice.